Hello, my name is Victoria, but you can call me Tori. Please like and subscribe. Growing up, it was just my dad, me, and the farm animals at his ranch. I had no siblings, and my mom worked overseas. Marcelo was my only friend, and together, we got into all kinds of mischief at the ranch. A few days after he left with his dad, guilt was eating me up, and I missed him a lot. So I confessed and begged Dad to give Mr. Diego his job back.
It's too late. I already hired someone else.
That was the last we ever spoke of Mr. Diego and Marcelo. And after that, life at the ranch became so boring. By the time I was in high school, I was pretty much a loner and only had one friend, my horse, Firefly. One day, while out exploring, Firefly skidded to a halt, sending me flying into some bushes. Ow! That's not nice, Firefly!
That was fun to watch.
Firefly? Since when can you talk? I must have hit my head because now Firefly was laughing. I sat up just as a boy walked towards me. Who are you?
I'm the guy who spooked your horse. You should have seen the look on your face as you took a nosedive.
Who was this jerk? You're trespassing. This is my dad's ranch.
What are you going to do? Tell Daddy?
Suit yourself. Keep lurking in the bushes like a creep. I climbed back on Firefly and headed home, not knowing that my life was about to get very interesting. The next day, I walked into class to find Dana, the head cheerleader, with her hand around another girl's throat.
I can't believe you kissed my boyfriend. He's not your boyfriend, you psycho.
Just then, someone blew a whistle right next to my ear. I turned, ready to shove the whistler away, and imagine my surprise when I saw it was the jerk I'd met at the ranch. What was he doing in my class?
Ladies, calm down. There's enough of me to go around. I've got time for you both.
The girls both lunged at him and landed blows all over him while he laughed and blew kisses at them.
Fight!
I grabbed one of the girls and pulled her away. Stop it, both of you! Can't you see he's enjoying it?
Hey, Nosedive, don't ruin my fun. You can join in too.
I'd rather eat glass. And my name's not Nosedive. It's Tori.
I didn't ask. That's enough. Let's all take our seats. Everyone, please welcome Mark, your new classmate. But I see some of you have already met him.
Mark sat next to me, much to my annoyance. Throughout the day, he kept stretching his leg and stepping on my feet. I'd kick it away, but he'd kick back harder. Seriously, what was his problem? Just then, my phone rang, and I immediately knew I was in trouble.
You all know I don't allow phones ringing in my class. Tori, hand it over. You'll pick it up at the end of the week.
But
If you protest, I'll take it away for 2 weeks. The phone's mine, sir. I'm sorry. I didn't know you had a no-phone rule. Well, in that case, turn it off.
Mark grinned at me, turned my phone off, then put it in his backpack.
You're welcome.
I eyed him suspiciously, wondering why he was being nice to me all of a sudden. After class, Mark took off with my phone. Hey! Give me back my phone! I ran after him, but by the time I reached him, he was already reading my texts.
Oh, look. It's a text from Daddy. He rented out the theme park for your birthday. How sweet.
I grabbed my phone and walked away to go call my dad. During the next class, I told everyone about my birthday at the park, and even though none of them were exactly my friends, they said they'd attend just so they could try out all the fun games. When the day finally came, our first stop was the Ferris wheel, but a guard blocked our entry.
I'm sorry. The Ferris wheel has been booked for our special guest.
But my dad booked.
Look, here's the guest coming now. Please move out of the way.
I turned, expecting to see some celebrity, only to see Mark? You're the special guest?
Yeah. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a Ferris wheel to enjoy. All by myself.
How did he even get the guard to do this? As I watched the Ferris wheel start, I was overcome with rage. So I ran and jumped up and grabbed the cart he was sitting in. I will not let you ruin my birthday!
You're crazy.
And you're a jerk! Why do you hate me so much?
I don't hate you.
Then what is it? We were high up in the air now, and I was dangling from the cart, my legs swinging helplessly.
Grab my hand.
I I reached out for Mark's hand and he pulled me into the cart. Thank you.
You better sit and buckle up.
As soon as we got back to the ground, Mark jumped out of his seat and walked away. I still didn't know why he was acting the way he was, but I had a birthday to celebrate. All right, guys, we can all ride the wheel now. A few days later, I was walking around a jewelry store when the door opened and in walked Mark. He saw me, smirked, and walked right toward me.
Fancy meeting you here.
Buying matching necklaces for your girlfriends?
Are you jealous?
You wish. I shoved past him, suddenly not in the mood to shop anymore. Just then, he grabbed my bag and pulled me back.
Hey, Tori, wait. Have a great day.
As I walked out of the store, an alarm went off.
Hey, you. Stop right there.
I froze in place as a security guard grabbed my bag and ordered me to follow him. Hey, give me my bag back! I didn't do anything wrong!
You can explain yourself to the manager. Let's go.
The guard led me to a room at the back of the store. I walked in, ready to defend myself, but all the words died in my throat when I saw who was sitting behind the manager's desk. Mark, what are you doing in here? He pointed at the sign on the desk. I don't understand. You work here?
Not really. My dad owns the store and I manage it.
Just then, the guard poured the contents of my bag on the table, and out fell a bracelet. I don't know how that got in there.
Shoplifting is an offense, you know. I'll have to report you.
He must have put it in there when he grabbed my bag. Why are you doing this to me? Mark didn't answer me. Instead, he picked up his phone and dialed 911.
You have two options. You can clean the store for a month, or I'll make a report.
What? There's no way. He pressed the call button. Fine, I'll do it. Now hang up. Mark smirked, and I clenched my fists. As agreed, I cleaned the store every day after school. One evening, the store was closed and it was just Mark and I inside. I was standing on a stool, busy dusting the shelves, when the lights went off. A few seconds later, there was a loud bang as the front glass window shattered. I jumped off the stool and landed in the bucket of water I'd been using to clean. As I struggled to get up, someone grabbed my arm and I screamed again.
Shh, stay down and stop screaming.
What's going on?
We're being robbed. I need to trigger the alarm. Stay here.
Mark crawled on all fours toward his office, but a masked man grabbed him and dragged him to his feet.
Don't move!
The bad guy had his back to me, so I grabbed the bucket and hit him on the head with it. His knees buckled and he went down, releasing Mark in the process. Mark, run! We bolted and jumped through the broken window, falling onto the empty street outside.
I think you saved my life.
You're welcome. Police arrived and arrested the burglar. They recorded our statements, then told us to go home.
Come on, I'll drive you home.
No thanks. You've saved my life, now I've saved yours. We're even. Now can you leave me alone? As I walked away, Mark grabbed my hand and turned me towards him.
How can you not remember me, Tori? You used to be your best friend.
I continued to stare at him, still confused.
It's me, Marcello.
It took a while for me to recover from that bombshell. I stared at Marcello, wide-eyed. What?
Surprise.
Oh my god, it's really you! I went to hug him, but he pushed me away. Right, he was angry at me. Marcello, I am so sorry for what I did to you and your dad. I was so afraid and I panicked. I didn't know Dad would fire your dad. Now I understand why you hate me so much.
I don't hate you. I'm just mad at you.
So, what happens now? You torture me for the rest of my life?
That was the plan, but I'm done. Truce.
Mark offered his hand to shake, and I chose to hug him instead. He resisted a little, but then he hugged me back. As he drove me home, he told me about how his dad had gone from ranch to ranch until he finally landed a job. It was there that he invented a farm tool that he sold to a big company, and they paid him millions for it. I was happy that life wasn't so bad for them anymore, but I was still feeling guilty. I was the reason why his dad had gotten fired. The next morning, Mark and I walked into class together, and a few jaws dropped.
Since when are you two friends?
Since forever ago. We just had a little misunderstanding. But we kissed and made up.
Dana stared daggers at me. We didn't actually kiss. Don't scratch my eyes out, please. Mark burst out laughing, and for the first time, I was happy to be at school. Mark and I hung out a lot. And after a few weeks, we were best friends again, and at times it felt like we could be even more.
Listen up, everyone. Halloween party at my house. Theme is Dress to Kill.
Everyone hooted and high-fived each other. When he sat down, he turned to me.
Hey, will you come?
Of course! I wouldn't miss it. Want to buy costumes together tomorrow?
Perfect.
At the costume shop the next day, Mark and I tried every costume imaginable. I was having so much fun teasing him when he emerged from the changing room dressed as James Bond, and I almost swallowed my tongue. When it was my turn, I picked several costumes and disappeared into the ladies' changing room, only to bump into Dana. What are you doing here?
Trying on costumes, duh.
I looked around, but she didn't have any costumes with her. But she disappeared before I could ask. Weird. I tried on several costumes, and finally, I put on a Lady Gaga costume. When I walked out of the changing room, Mark's eyes went comically huge.
Oh, wow. Hot.
I checked myself in the mirror, and the blush on my face was the size of Texas. I guess we have our costumes.
Can't wait.
Mark held the party in an old barn on his father's property. The moment I walked in, Dana appeared out of nowhere like a ghost. Jeez, you scared me.
Good, so my costume is efficient.
Nice broom. Did you write it here?
Ha ha, very funny.
I shoved past her, trying to find Mark.
Looking for your boyfriend?
He's not my boyfriend.
Oh, please, the two of you give each other googly eyes all day. It's nauseating. Anyway, he's out in the tool shed.
The shed was just outside the barn, and when I walked in, Mark wasn't there. I turned to leave, but the door was banged in my face. I grabbed the lock handle, but it didn't budge. Hello? Anyone out there? After a few minutes of banging and kicking, I grabbed an axe and swung it as hard as I could. The door went off its hinges and fell to the ground. I dropped the axe and stormed off to go find Dana. I was so sure she was the one who'd locked me in the shed. When I entered the barn, the lights had been dimmed and slow, romantic music was playing. I scanned the room for Dana, but froze when I spotted Mark with his arms around someone in a Lady Gaga costume, exactly like mine. Mark, who is this?
Tori?
Yes, it's me. Who's that?
It was so easy to fool you.
Dana, what's happening right now?
Dana locked me in the tool shed so she could pretend to be me. By now, everyone at the party was gathered around us watching the whole drama.
Why would you do that?
Just wanted to mess with you.
That's not cool.
Come on, why are you mad? You're the one who said there's enough of you to go around.
Dana, I'm sorry I treated you badly, but please, don't mess with Tori again. And just so I'm clear, I'm only enough for one girl, and she's right here.
Butterflies filled my stomach as I looked into Mark's eyes. You look so handsome in your costume.
And you look so beautiful in yours.
Ugh, I need my witch costume.
Mark and I laughed as we started dancing. It was the most perfect Halloween party ever. The end.